Hi guys and girls, I'm Obsidian and today we're going to take a look at an upcoming space game called Rebel Galaxy Outlaw. Now this is the second game in the series. The original Rebel Galaxy was released back in 2015, some of you may remember that. It involved a lot of combat with capital class ships. Outlaw is a little different because this is very much about sitting in the cockpit and being a fighter pilot amongst many other things. The game is being developed by a studio called Double Damage Games and it's scheduled for release early next year. So right now this is basically a summary of everything that Double Damage Games have announced so far. Some of the footage is taken from their recent walkthrough and I'll link that below if you do want to go and take a look at the full thing. The video is about an hour long. So the first thing you're going to notice with Rebel Galaxy Outlaw is that when you're in space, you fly right inside your ship from the viewpoint of the cockpit, but you can also fly in third person as well. Now the ship controls were quite extensively demonstrated, and we'll look at that slightly further into this video. Rebel Galaxy Outlaw will be supporting Hotosto, it's worth pointing that out, although it doesn't appear to have 6 directions of freedom in terms of the full control, although I might be wrong on that, I might be missing something. So each star system within Rebel Galaxy is a decent size. However, there are a number of different star systems that you can travel to. You can actually move between each of these. Navigating around each specific star system though, inside of them, can be achieved through using the system map. And this is one of the ways of getting to mission objectives. The other is to select the highlighted targets. That's a yellow icon you see on some of the footage here. However, as you travel about, there's a number of different things you can do. Side missions, for example, seem to play out very seamlessly. You can simply jump from one to another. For example, you might want to head to a location to find a black box, which may then lead you to another location where there's a ship under attack. Or alternatively, you might hear a rumour and go do a bit of treasure hunting. Or on the other hand, you might want to get into bounty hunting. So one thing seems quite clear, there's no lack of activities to do. In a space combat sim, you'd expect combat to play a large part. Now whilst watching a video of the game doesn't give a full feel for the combat, I've got to say that the combat here does look pretty good. Ships have directional based shields which are divided into 4 quarters. These strengthen or weaken individually. The ship's hull also appears to gain damage in sections, meaning that one side of your ship can potentially be far more damaged than the other side of your ship. But like I said, it's difficult to really judge how combat will actually play out. We won't know that until we get the game in our hands. But one element that is likely to prove controversial among players when the game is released is the auto pursuit feature. This essentially allows you to automatically tail a targeted enemy. But it is worth pointing out that this doesn't auto-aim for you, so you will still need to find control of targeting and manoeuvring of your ship. Either way though, the feature is entirely optional. If you're really opposed to this option, you can completely disable it. Now combat really does scale up, from fighting with individual fighters to getting involved with fleet-sized battles and some very large ships. Now moving away from the space-based aspects of the game, you can dock at different stations and planetary bases. Each of these are different and they offer things such as missions, bars, guilds, etc. None of them are procedurally generated. This is something that Double Damage did look at, or did use rather, with Rebel Galaxy, the first game, but they found that ultimately that didn't really fit what they were aiming for, so this time around they've gone for handcrafted content. Stations can also be used to repair your ship or even change a ship loadout. Further, you can actively go out and buy new ships. There's also a marketplace here to allow you to buy, trade and sell commodities. And there's also many other options at stations that we haven't yet covered, and a further look at them in just a moment. Now one thing that Double Damage did focus on was the enhanced and developed conversation system. This allows you to interact with NPCs in a pretty detailed way. For example, you can head into a bar and have a chat with the barkeeper and hear about rumours or talk about other such things. The mission boards allow you to pick up missions. These are side missions, and they come in the form of convoy distress missions, pirate strike missions, defense missions, and many other things. There's also a separate mission board if you're more interested in merchant type activities, and you can get access to this through the Merchants Guild. Now the developers here clearly wanted to add a variety of layers to the game and really bring the universe to life. One of the things you're going to be able to do, which really helps with this, is to get involved in a variety of side activities. And these include things such as games of dice and a really great looking game of 8-ball. You can also gamble in all of these games, either for credits or, interestingly enough, for ship parts. Fruit machines are also a thing. Oh, and if you really fancy playing a bit of retro arcade, there's that too. Now, one of the things I touched on earlier was the ability to purchase new ships when you're at stations or outposts, and you may be wondering how different types of ships actually feel and handle, or how they look. Well, it turns out that they have a very different styles, both in terms of their exterior as well as the interior and the cockpit. And to add to that, they all handle differently. So this will play a part into both your general flying as well as combat. Now, talking of different types of ships, you know how in some games you get to customize the look of your ship, sometimes through color variations or different types of skins? Well, Double Damage have really gone to town with this and have integrated a fully working paint application. To have a look at this. So essentially, this is very much similar to Photoshop in terms of its functionality and workflow. This supports the layers, blending, brushes. It also supports graphics tablets and pressure sensitivity. This really is just an insane level of interaction. There's so much here that, well, Double Damage couldn't really cover it all in their video, and I'm certainly not going to be able to cover it all here. But there's things such as blurs and sharpening, and the ability even to import and render textures, just about anything you can think of. Now, one of the things Double Damage were very keen to show off were the stencils, and these function, as you can imagine, just like they might in real world. You apply them to your ship by rubbing them onto the surface. Stencils can be imported, so basically you can use absolutely anything you like. Now, this just seems to be an initial look at what's coming in Rebel Galaxy Outlaw. Double Damage did say they're going to be showing off more a bit later on. A lot more, a bit more, I don't know, but either way, there's enough here to be getting on with, so more is certainly going to be very, very welcome. Now, I don't know about you, but personally, I'm really keen on looking for a single-player space game. There's not really anything out there that quite compares directly to this, the immediacy of it, and, well, it's just like those space games of old, isn't it? So, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, this isn't due for release, unfortunately, until early 2019. It's going to be available on PC, PlayStation 4, as well as the Switch. No word on Xbox, though, at the moment. So, I'm going to be keeping a very close eye on this one. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys and girls next time.